How many real estate investors in the room? Okay, good. How many real estate salespeople in the room? All right, I've been on both sides of that game. I've sold it and I've bought it, and it's better to buy it than it is to sell it. If you can keep it long enough. Who would agree with that statement? If you can keep it for the entire period of time. How many $50 million buyers in the room? Let me just see. Right there. Qualified. Can we please take her to the VIP room? Okay, and the reality of that is when I was listening to the panel today, I came here to learn as much as to hopefully offer you something, and maybe you walk away with something that'll somehow benefit you. When I'm listening to what these four gentlemen were saying about real estate, I was literally texting my office saying, let's buy every apartment building we can in Miami. Because that $5 million house that they have that's cold right now, that's not being purchased, what is the payment on $5 million house? $25,000 a month, right? Okay, how much money do I need to make? Who's hiring people and you're paying them over $350 a year? How many of you are hiring people? How many employers here? How many business owners here? How many of you have people working for you making over $350 a year? Okay, a couple people. How many people do you have working for you that are making that kind of money? Other than yourself, sir. Yeah, right there. How many? You have 15 guys making over $350. Okay, all right, good for you. You guys should get his business card today. He's got something going on. All right, I moved here 7 years ago. How's everybody doing, by the way? I got to check with you, man. I got to check with you guys. It's called the real deal, right? Now, you could get a bunch of statistics here today. They will never, ever, ever, ever help you move the bar. I got to get excited to sell something. Everybody agree with that? I have to get excited to buy something. Otherwise, I'm just going to go buy things when I absolutely need things. Most of you in the room look like you're in good shape. You don't need many things. For me to get you to trade your hard-earned money for something that maybe I'm selling, I would have to get you to want it more than just need it. And that's what's going on with the condo market here. Okay, I'm going to have to find a great product in the right location at the right time, or I have to build the top of my funnel out big time, meaning I need to get more leads and not just wait for them to hit my website. He was in my office yesterday. He's like, how do you run your business here? I said, look, I moved here 7 years ago from Los Angeles. I knew not one person in Miami. We had 3 employees moved here. We have 170 employees in Aventura today in the Northern Trust building. If you're ever at the Northern Trust building, you're going to go around that corner right there at Aventura, right? You know where it is? Anybody know where it is? Maybe you're at Starbucks. Come by. You're going to see a big flag, 10X. Another flag, Cardone Capital. And of course, God bless America. The American flag will be there waving every day and every night. When we moved there, I was a tenant for Northern Trust. And the bank thought that I was too noisy, too enthusiastic. Okay? So we bought the building. And they became my tenant. And now they've moved out because we're too noisy. Who in the room is too noisy? Hey, don't wait until you're at Live to be too noisy. Okay? You need to get noisy now. Because money, if you're taking notes, if you came here to learn something, money follows attention. Money always follows attention. Money has followed attention since the beginning of time. Money will not go to where there's no attention. How many would agree with that statement? I just explained the entire career of the Kardashians. Money follows attention, okay? Money follows glitter and noise and lights, okay? And so when we sold out the Miami Marlins Stadium, who's been in that stadium before? Okay, no one in the room's ever been in it when it was full, including the Marlins. Okay, I called Derek Jeter. I said, Derek, look, I want to rent your stadium. When do you want to rent it? I said, in 2018, I want to rent the stadium. I know the date. What date? It's going to be available. Trust me. And he's like, yeah, but when is it? When is it? I said, Derek, it's going to be available. I assure you. I will bet you whatever number you want. The weekend I want it is going to be available. He's like, what weekend? I said, Super Bowl weekend. He's like, oh, yeah, there's nothing going on Super Bowl weekend. I said, good. That's the weekend I want to rent the Marlins Stadium for 3 days. and I want it set up for 35,000 people. We put 34,250 people in Marlins Stadium. We brought $125 million to Miami in February during that Arctic, whatever that thing was. Y'all remember that in February this year? Y'all already forgot that, huh? Remember the Arctic vortex? I created that myself, okay? I brought 35,000 people into Miami from 54 different countries. How do you do that? Super Bowl weekend. When I got the Super Bowl in Atlanta, how do you do that? You get attention. How do you sell a condo? You get attention. Okay? How do you sell anything? You get attention. How do you build your brand? You get attention. So I'm just telling you that. If I can drop one piece and then Amir's going to come up, we're going to do a little Q&A and maybe answer some of your questions. I'm just telling you that because what am I doing? A Louisiana boy, lived in California for 25 years. I don't know anyone in Miami. 7 years ago. I moved to Miami. This year, we bought almost $400 million worth of real estate right now through October. $400 million worth of real estate, most of which is right here in either Miami, up to Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, apartment buildings. All very large apartment buildings, 50 million, 90 million, $140 million deals. I bought the Sawgrass deal across from the BBT, Nexus. The name of it's Nexus. Now it's called 10X Living. 10X because you should multiply things. You should deliver better service. How many agree with that? Okay. 10 times the value. Everybody agree with that? And think 10 times bigger. So that's what we try to do at our apartment buildings. All I purchase, the only thing that I purchase is apartments. And the reason why is because much of what these guys were saying here, we have 89 million millennials in America. 89 million between 25 and 38 years old. 89 million, a third of population of the U.S., almost a third of the population. How many millennials in the room? Say 10X if you're a millennial. Okay, good. See, these people are users. They use stuff. They don't want to own stuff. I'm 61 years old. I was brought up to own stuff. Own your car, own your bike, own your house. How many of you grew up like that? Own everything. Oh, by the way, and pay it off. You can't have any debt. Okay? And save your cash. How many are brought up on the old save your cash thing? I mean, you saving it like all over the place, right? Save your money, save your money, save your money. Save what? Why are you saving money? What are you saving it for? Get ready for retirement. Save for a rainy day. Okay? It rains every day here. Right? What are you saving this for? It's useless. It's pieces of paper. It has failed. This concept, this economic concept of saving money has failed the American people, folks. Okay? $5 trillion today. $5 trillion. $5.3 trillion is sitting dead in equity in homes across America. $5.3 trillion. Imagine if that money was taken out of those homes and reinvested into businesses, into people. Forget the government. Dr. Carson said, hey, the government cannot improve this country. It will be you and I that take our money and put it at risk that improves this country. Okay, I came here with 3 people. 170 people work with me every day in Aventura. Every day those people are buying pizzas. They're buying sandwiches. They're doing Uber orders. They don't even leave my office. They call Uber up. Uber all day long is coming to my office, dropping off food. That's how you build an economy. You build it by making investments. You take useless pieces of paper with dead presidents on it. Let me see. This is Andrew Jackson. Who's related to him? I am. He's in my pocket. My job is to put him to work for me. Okay? I give it to the bank. What does the bank do with it? Immediately converts it to digits. Immediately gets rid of the cash, converts it to digits, and then pushes it out into the marketplace 9 times so that it multiplies. I'm just telling you this to tell you there's so many opportunities here in Miami. I just finished doing 13 countries: Singapore, Dubai, Malaysia, Bucharest, Rome, London, Paris. Everywhere I go, I look at real estate. I come home, buy everything. Buy everything here. Go to Singapore and look at the rents in Singapore. 80% higher than Miami. But what do the people in Miami say? The rents are so high. They're so high. Oh my gosh, they're so high. Okay? And they're going to go higher. Why? 89 million people, 1/3 of the people that live here are renters. Number one. Number two, baby boomers. How many boomers in a room? 75 million baby boomers in America. They've already bought a house, 2 houses, 3 houses. They fixed the roofs. They've mowed the lawns. They've fixed their garages. They've painted their exteriors. They've done their landscaping. And they're like, I'm done with that. I want to travel. I want my money. How many boomers here? Let me hear 10X if you're a boomer. You got one 10X left in you. Let me hear it. Okay, you may as well use it now. It won't be any good to you later. Okay, so the more enthusiasm I spend, the more, you ever notice this? The more energy you use, the more energy you get. You guys ever notice that? So look, I love Miami. Who loves Miami? Good, good. Then don't just live here. Invest in it. Don't let the outsiders come by it. What am I doing buying it? You guys lived here longer than I have. Like if you meet people, the average normal person, not the people, but not Carl Icahn. People don't have 50 million when they come down here. Guy moves here from New York, they're going to rent for 2 or 3 years. How many believe that? They're not going to come plop down $5 million first weekend they're here. That's an aberration. Most of the people coming down here are bringing people with them, and they're going to rent. Okay, and they're going to look for how can I have a nice swimming pool, some security, a safe place, a social setting. My family, we can start our family here. We can live here. I can work here, and I can pay $1,800 or $2,200 a month. That story's not going to end. So I came here just to say hello to you, to make myself known. If you have an apartment building in Miami, Aventura, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, across the way, what's it called? Naples, Tampa, Fort Myers. If it's got Florida on it, I'm your buyer. You can bring a broker on the deal. I don't care. I'll pay the extra point myself because 1 point, I'll pay your point. I'll pay your point, okay? I'm not cheap. How many cheap people in the room? Raise your hand. They never do. This one lady right here, she's like, I admit it. I want a deal, okay? The deal is Miami, folks. You cannot find me a place on planet Earth. You cannot find me a place on planet Earth that looks like Miami, that has the economics, the aesthetics, the people, the vibration, the beauty. It does not exist on this planet. I don't know of one place. 13 countries I've been to this year, not one of them look like Miami. Okay, thank you for having me here. I'm going to bring Amir up. He's going to do some Q&A. All right. Give this man a big hand for putting this on, by the way. Good dude right here.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Grant. We appreciate that. Grant insisted on taking some questions from the audience. So if you are interested in asking a question, please think of one and raise your hand, and somebody will make sure to get you a microphone. Grant, you said that all the millennials, they want to rent. They don't want to own. Yet the biggest home buying population in the U.S. is millennials. You think that's going to convert?
Just because it's the biggest portion of the house buyer, your housing, the housing numbers disappointed this morning. They're going to keep disappointing. They're just, why do I need to go buy a house today? Like, we bought a property in Delray. It's 31 acres. The property, it was, what did I pay for that? $92 million. It's 32 acres, 33 acres, 456 units. The rents are $1,800 a month. I have a $4 million swimming pool. Carl Icahn doesn't have a $4 million swimming pool. He spent $50 million, and his pool is a quarter of the size of my swimming pool. I paid $92 million. I have 456 residents living there. I get a positive cash flow every month. They're going to pay down the debt while I'm there. If I sit there for 30 years, I turn $30 million. With no appreciation, I would triple my money, plus my cash flow.
And you believe that sort of strategy is recession-proof?
Well, it is recession-proof, because if we go into a recession, if we're not already in one right now, which I would suggest that we are, how can you have 3.5% jobs, 3.5% unemployment, and no income growth for the average American. Okay, what are you making? 60 grand a year, average American, median income, maybe 70 grand, 75,000, maybe 79,000. Costs you 79,000 to live in this town, minimum. So I'm making 79, 79 is going out the door. How do I buy a house today? Much less a $5 million condo. So all those purchases have to come in from some other place.
When we first reached out to Grant to come and speak here, he said, "You got to pay me," which is a fair thing to say. And we told him.
How many of you agree with that? You should pay, right? Who agrees? You should pay people.
Well, we told him we're a news organization and we just don't pay people, right? So we went our own separate ways. And a guy that I know here in Miami, Alex Vidal, he reached out and he said, "You know who you got to get for this is Grant Cardone." And I said, "We already reached out to him." And he said, "No." He said, "Let me put you in touch with them. Maybe he'll do it." So I want to thank Alex, and he's going to be the first person to ask a question today. Alex Vidal from, where is Alex?
Don't think that they didn't.
Oh, there he is. There is the guy.
What's up, guys?
Come on.
Come on. Grant, I'll be in your office on Tuesday.
All right. All right.
So we're going to sit down together for an interview.
Good.
Jared's been on. Elena's been on.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. Grant, how would you say Cardone Capital looked like and Cardone U and all that prior to social media, and what kind of an impact did social media have on where it is today?
So the question's about social media, if you didn't hear it. I'm 61 years old. Social media hit really hard in my probably 50, I was 50, 51, 52 years old when Facebook, Instagram wasn't even around, TikTok wasn't there, Snapchat, if you don't know what these mechanisms are. They're just distribution channels. And the first time I saw Facebook, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, how many of you had the same idea when you look at these, you're like, I don't have time for that. That's exactly what I said. I don't have time for this stuff. I'm running 17 little companies. I got 170 employees. I do not have time. I got partnerships, collaborations. I'm trying to buy apartments. We're traveling all over the world. I don't have time for Instagram and Facebook. When I heard myself say that, I sounded like this old person that didn't have time to learn something with a closed mind. And so I said, hey, there must be something here. It's free. It's unregulated. I can say whatever I want. I can use it as often as possible, and I can get attention on it. So that was, I guess I was 52, 53. It was 8 years ago. Today I have 2.4 million people follow me on Instagram. 6 million people follow me on Facebook. 1.2 million people follow me on YouTube. 400,000 people follow me on LinkedIn. And we use that audience. Because it's one thing to have people follow you. It's another thing to do something with it. We raised $256 million as of this morning. $256 million without going to a family office. Crowdfunded using Instagram and Facebook. And our ad budget was zero. So, yeah, thank you. And sometimes I leave my office and I come do an event like this, okay? Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'm going to have 40,000 people join me that have already registered, 40,000. No facility can handle 40,000 people in Miami. But I'm going to have 40,000 people join me for about an hour to an hour and a half talking about entrepreneurship Saturday for free. Why would I do that? Why would I offer something free when I told him I'm going to charge him to come talk to y'all? Huh? How many think I should charge him, by the way? Is it the right thing to do? Is it the American thing to do? Come on, is it?
Ticket prices just went up.
Okay, so why? Because I want to deliver a service to people so I can build the top of my funnel. If you're having trouble with income, if you're struggling with income, it's because of the outflow. Your outflow is restricted.
It's still explain why are you having the 40,000 people come there? Are you gonna teach them an opportunity to?
No, I'm delivering them what they want. My audience asked me for coaching and mentoring and how to scale their business, so we offered it.
But Grant, not everybody has your energy and your.
Everybody
followers.
has my energy. Everyone in this room has the energy I have. It's not true.
Stop the but not everybody has your personality. Not everybody
There's people in the room with a much better personality than me. Does he have a good personality? You guys got to quit telling yourself all this stuff. Like, look, I was a bad kid. I had a drug problem when I was 25 years old. My dad died when I was 10. My older brother died when I was 20. I had massive losses in my life. I had every reason. I could be in a prison right now. So everybody's got their stuff, okay? The question is, are you going to move through it and become the real you? So, oh, I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert. No, you're just, those are just labels. I've been told I had ADD, ADHD, OCD. I'm like, what else I got? Oh, now I'm greedy. I'm a show off. Look, how many in the room have been labeled? Well, good. The person that's labeling you is not doing something while they labeled you, right? These people that gave me all these labels, none of this was true. I just want to be better. I just want to do more. And so the reason I won't buy into what he just said, oh, not everybody's like you. It's just bullshit. It's just, he don't know that to be true. That's not, you can't run that through analytics. You could agree with him. But look at his magazine. Look how good his magazine is, right? See, if I was going in, give him a hand for a good magazine, right? See? Oh, I don't have the money to start a magazine. I don't know anything about a magazine. Amir, should I start a magazine? Where am I going to get the sponsor?
Absolutely should not start a magazine, let me tell you.
Because he's into scarcity. Because he's worried. He's worried about competition.
But, you mentioned yesterday when we were talking, I said, how do you navigate through a recession? And you said you never want to miss an opportunity in a recession. That's where all the opportunities are. Explain that. What do you mean by that?
Never miss a good recession. Like, when they talked about 45 months of inventory, I said, man, I need to start hunting some of this stuff. Because there's somebody out there bleeding out right now. Somebody bleeding out. Somebody's going to get nervous. Somebody can't hold on. Like, that's the marketplace. That is the beauty of capitalism and economics is there's bleed outs and people can't hang on. So I bought a deal recently. They made, the seller made $25 million. I was telling Don back here, I said, Don, I never build anything. I buy everything from a builder. I let the builder make a bunch of money on me. Guy sells me a deal. I said, what'd you make on me? Did you make 25 on me? He's like, what do you mean? I said, did you make 25 million? 25? I got you at 25, 26, 27, somewhere in there. He's like, about 26. I said, congratulations. He's like, why are you all right with it? I said, because you're going to regret it 10 years from now. 10 years from now, you're going to be like, I wish I wouldn't have sold that deal. How many of you have seen that happen over and over and over again? He's got to sell. He's got to sell to recoup his fees. I want to own property that pays me forever. That's my real estate play. I want to buy property that pays me forever. So you never want to miss a good recession. And by the way, you can't take care of a recession if you're not buying on the front end of it, right? You got to be in all the cycle to be relevant when the cycle happens.
Next question.
Hey, Grant. How you doing? I have a testimony and a question.
Testify to us.
I got to testify, man.
Bring it on.
Listen, I went from zero negative in debt last year. Up until this point, I'm going to break $250,000 in revenue just listening to
Hey, give him a big hand. 250 grand.
Hey, I got my girlfriend with me here supporting. So my question is, I've been following everything that you say, putting all my money in my business to grow it, get attention, things like that. At what point do you recommend me getting into real estate? Like, I've been buying education, trying to learn, things like that. Like, do you think I should keep 10xing with the activity or start shifting some money?
Yeah. So how old are you?
23.
And how long have you been making $250 a year?
Less than a year this year.
Yeah. So you need to keep reinvesting in yourself. You don't need to put money with me.
All right.
You don't need to buy a house right now. You need to keep investing in yourself until your skills get better and you become more and more confident in your own skill set. And you're able to start predicting income growth. This is the problem in America. Okay, the financial institutions tell young kids to invest money, and they haven't even invested in themselves. Like, it's crazy. Like, invest in yourself over and over and over again. Once your business should be a reflection of you, right? When my business starts spilling over, if I'm a baseball player and I'm doing great and I'm hitting the ball, somebody's going to pay me more money for that. Everybody agree with that? If I'm hurt all the time, they're not going to pay me. They're going to throw me off, But if I'm improving myself, okay, then the marketplace is going to start paying me. If it's not paying me, keep spending money. Keep investing in this vessel, me, until I'm improved. And then at some point, there's going to be a surplus of money. When the cup floweth over, then you're like, okay, I want to start buying something. And then when you start making investments, do what Warren Buffett does. Never lose money. Like, don't lose money. Number 2, don't lose money. Number 3, always buy cash flow. That's what Warren Buffett does. Don't lose money, and always buy cash flow. Every company he has, every single one of them has that one thing in common, cash flow.
Grant, you are also, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that while you believe in America, there are 2 states that you absolutely don't believe in. What are the 2 states
Don't do that.
you
Don't
never
do that to me. Don't
What
do
are the
that to
2
me.
states you don't invest
I will
in?
tell you one of them. California. Despise the place. Okay? We'll only use it. I'll fly in. I'll use it. I'll use it like a toilet. Okay? Because they're going to turn it into one. They're going to take the most beautiful state. I lived there 25 years. I left California with 2 kids and my wife and moved to Miami because of the way they're running that. They're going to run it right into the ground. There doesn't need to be an earthquake to the politics will run it into the ocean. So the second place, I don't think I can say it because I think it's going to make some people upset in this room. New York. New York is going to feed Florida for years to come. This is just the beginning, folks. Promise you. It will not stop. Okay? This thing is not a new thing either. New York has been feeding Florida for years. It has been, incubating Florida for years, but now it's going to happen for real. Okay? They're going to come. They're going to keep running people down here because people are going to leave because of their finances. The Democrats will come down here. The Republicans will come down here. The in-betweeners will come down here. They're going to come all the way down here. They're going to move in. And they're going to pay more money than you'd pay in your neighborhood because you're looking backward at the comps and they're looking at their neighborhood. And they're like, this is a steal. This is a deal. This is the real deal. We're moving to the FLA.
Next question.
I know you mentioned in the past that as the company gets bigger, it accumulates billions AUM as we go forward.
Yeah.
You're eventually going to find bigger buyers, the Blackstones, the Goldman Sachs, the Prudentials to buy these deals, possibly as REITs, which is fine. Obviously, if you did that, I would probably still invest with you, even still. But I'm curious, is your company still going to have the current fund structures and operations like you have right now at some point, or like a big leaguer, a Super Bowl winner? You just going to keep coming back each year, putting all these new funds?
So what he's just to catch everybody up is 20 months ago I started raising money for our apartment buildings. For 25 years I quietly took my other businesses and I was buying real estate. I was buying only apartment complexes, 200 units, 250, 300 units, a little bigger now, but I opened it up to some friends, brother, sister. I let them come in. If you've ever taken investors, your concern is I'm going to take them and it's going to become a problem. So I really resisted it for years. I had about, 3,000, 4,000 units. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need a headache. I don't want to be responsible to people. And then I had a deal I was buying and my wife says, once you just create a structure so her mother could put money. I said, no, not the mother-in-law. You don't start with the mother-in-law. So I started with my brother, my sister. I let them in. I let a handful of customers in. Then we let the mother-in-law in. And it wasn't a problem. So we did one fund. That was $256 million ago. His question is, the assets that we're buying, we know when we purchase that asset. Like I'm not buying low and selling high. I'm buying Blackstone quality assets and that I'm going to sell to Blackstone. So we're building a $10 billion real estate portfolio that I'm going to end up selling to Goldman Sachs or MetLife because those guys never have recessions. Okay. I don't need an economy, good or bad, to sell to Blackstone. They have trillions of dollars, not billions of dollars. There's trillions. They just print money. And so our investors are partners with us in the asset as a real partner, including the depreciation, amortization, and the appreciation. All the tax advantages that come with that investment that I get, they get in the same equal proportion. It's not a REIT. You're a real partner. You get a cash distribution every month, which Blackstone and Goldman Sachs does not do because they're greedy. Don't blame them. They can get away with it. They should. We pay people every month, and we're using social media to build the fund out. They can't do that.
What's the smallest investment and what's the largest?
5,000.
What's the largest that you've gotten?
I think 9 million. We have an accredited and a non-accredited fund. So it's very, very expensive to do both of these funds. The non-accredited even more so, which just goes to show you Wall Street's lock on investors. My mom, when I grew up, my dad died when I was 10. So my mom was she was just trying to protect this little bit of money that we had. She never got access to deals, good deals. The middle class America doesn't get access to the good deals. You get access to garbage. No offense, but a REIT is not an investment in real estate. It's a piece of paper. It's a garbage piece of paper. It's going to pay you every quarter and all that, but you're not getting all the great benefits of real estate is what? The tax write-off, number one. Cash flow, number two. And the appreciation, number three. I want the write-off. Okay, it's why Trump won't show his tax form. Nobody's going to understand it. Hey, how'd you make 400 million and you got a loss of 800 million? Like, I can't even understand how you did this. So that's what we're doing with Cardone Capital, and one day maybe we turn it into a REIT, but I'll probably sell it to Blackstone before then.
Grant, you have a really interesting attitude when it comes to buying properties in that you don't really nickel and dime, right? Like you go in and you're like, oh, it's 5% more. You got 2 brokers on it. I don't care. I'll pay it. I'll pay the other broker. And what is that? I mean, like normally people try to cut every percentage they can. And
if you're playing Monopoly, what do you want? What 2 spots do you want in Monopoly? You want Boardwalk and Park Place. You got to pay to get them. Now, the fear about Park Place and Broadway is that you need a little Pennsylvania just to keep the game going. That's the cash flow game. Because if I can just keep the game going long enough, you are going to land on the blue spots, and I'm going to bust you out the second you land, okay? So I want great real estate. I don't want average real estate. I've done that. I bought the C properties. I bought the cash flow stuff. I bought the high cap rates. I don't want those problems. I want great real estate. Great real estate appreciates faster than poor real estate does. So I don't nickel and dime people. I don't want to be nickel and dime. And when I nickel and dime people, guess what? I get nickels and dimes back. That's what I get back, okay? Finish this statement. A penny saved is?
Penny.
It's a penny. It's not a penny earned. It's a damn penny. Quit saving your pennies.
Let's get one more question from the audience. Hannah, who do you have?
Hey, Grant, it's Peter Green from Forge International. I had a question. I just got back from Brazil. Great YouTube marketing, by the way. I saw that. I might come back to I might participate in your event. I have a question about, look, we have a lot of clients from Brazil and other countries who are asking about the multifamily investments, right? And here's the thing. Let me ask you this. In terms of areas in Miami, right, in the 1 million to 2 million range, where do you think is the best area, number one? Number two, in terms of leverage, and I'm talking about rehab leverage.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, so like we don't over leverage anything.
Okay.
I'll do 65%. Like I don't want to lose anything. Number one, don't lose anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if $1 million piece of property in Miami, though, that's going to buy what? It's going to buy like 3 units.
I'll buy like 5 to 6, maybe.
Okay, 5 or 6. I probably don't want that deal either.
Mm-hmm.
There's no swimming pool, no security.
What about
a bad neighborhood? Who would build the five units? Is it 5 duplexes? I wouldn't own that long term. I would buy it and flip it.
That's what I'm saying. Flip.
I would buy it and flip it.
Right.
Then I'm not worried about leverage because you don't want a loan on that deal.
Well, why can't you put down 30% and leverage 70%? Why not?
Well, you could, or you could just raise the money from your buddies and say, let's get in this deal and out of this deal. Raising money is not a problem.
Well, the way I come at that is I have a lot of clients from Brazil, let's say, right? And they're unloading assets at market or 5% or below market price. And then what they want to do is they want to take that money, allocate it, hold it for maybe 12 months to 18 months and then flip it.
Yeah.
And start to do that or hold. I don't know. looking
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
but I wouldn't, if you're going to try to flip something, you need to get it in and out, and you do not need to be in there for 12 months. You need to be in and out. You're flipping, okay? Don't try to hold a pancake for 12 or 18 months. Flip it.
Right.
You're going to burn it.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much.
You got it.